The movie opened with a convoy of luxury cars travels along a rocky path toward a hidden facility owned by a wealthy woman. She leads the buyers into a large cave to showcase her expensive products, while the manager explains that their new drug can make animals grow far larger than normal. The woman is a seller of snakeskins and claims her production can be 10 times greater than any competitor. But when they check the back area, all the snakes have vanished. The manager panics, unaware that the creatures are still there, watching from the darkness. The owner approaches the wreckage when sticky liquid drips onto her face. She looks up and sees a giant black serpent hanging above her, freezing everyone in fear before she is ambushed and swallowed alive. Soon after, other snakes drop down and attack the buyers. They try to fight back but stand no chance against the brutal assault. Chaos intensifies as the giant serpent appears and devours victims like a buffet, striking and biting workers one by one. Seeing the situation worsen, the manager flees and is chased out of the cave. He runs through the forest before stumbling near a cliff overlooking a remote school. Before he can call for help, the giant serpent seizes him and drags him into the bush, leaving only terrified screams. The snake then crawls to the cliff's edge and stares at the school below, a flight attendant academy that only accepts model-like young women. They practice various unique skills and maintain their appearance, unaware that danger is closing in. Meanwhile, smaller snakes have already infiltrated the building, while the giant black serpent begins hunting and killing the students. At the same time, Mengna opens her locker in the changing room and finds a snake inside. She runs, but eventually becomes cornered as the massive serpent blocks her path, forcing her to scream in terror. Fortunately, Liu Chao, the campus security officer, hears the screams coming from the women's changing room. Without hesitation, he rushes inside, knocks away the venomous creature attacking the girl, and carries her out before things get worse. Realizing that this is no ordinary incident, Liu Chao immediately reports it and hurries to the broadcasting room to warn everyone. In the main building, the principal is proudly presenting his graduation ceremony concept to the investors. However, the atmosphere shifts instantly when Liu Chao's voice echoes through the speakers, announcing that numerous serpents have infiltrated the campus. The principal tries to ease their worries, but the guests begin sensing a danger that can't be ignored. The biggest shock comes when everyone turns and sees a massive serpent emerging before them. In an instant, the principal is killed on the spot, triggering mass panic. The monster rampages through the crowd, throwing people into the air and devouring them one by one, while more snakes crawl out from different buildings, plunging the campus into total chaos. Students scatter as the creatures break into classrooms and attack anyone trapped inside. Liu Chao and his friend flee alongside the students, but when he sees the giant serpent tearing through the escaping crowd, he tells Mengna to run and chooses to go back to help those trapped. A desperate chase ensues, forcing everyone to retreat deeper into the buildings. When Liu Chao reaches the bus area, he realizes Mengna is missing. Panicked, he runs back through the chaos, calling her name until he finally finds her hiding inside a building. He rushes toward her, but Mengna notices a massive threat crawling right behind him. She tries to warn him, but Liu Chao is too focused on saving her to notice the danger closing in. Only when his instincts shift does he slowly turn, only to find the giant serpent looming over him, ready to strike. Fortunately, Liu Chao spotted the massive shadow just in time, allowing him to leap aside and sprint as the colossal serpent tore through the ground behind him. His foot slipped and he nearly fell, but at the last second Zhang, a senior officer who had joined the evacuees, appeared and yanked him out of the creature's deadly reach. They rushed into the nearest building and slammed the door shut, though the monster still managed to strike Zhang and hurl him across the room. The survivors stood up trembling, realizing they couldn't stay put forever. While searching for a safer path, Liu Chao noticed a support cable on the upper floor connecting their building to the one next door. The idea seemed insane, but they didn't have a better choice. Holding their breath, he and Zhang climbed onto the cable as the monster watched from below. Halfway across, their combined weight made the cable sway violently. Liu Chao's phone slipped from his pocket and fell directly onto the creature's head, enraging it. The serpent lunged upward to snatch them, missing by inches but shaking the structure enough to snap the cable, sending the two men flying onto the balcony of the opposite building. The landing was rough, but they survived and immediately began searching for the others. Once they reunited, Mengna hugged Liu Chao in relief, creating a brief moment of awkwardness. He quickly explained that rescue teams were still on their way and everyone needed to remain hidden. While looking for supplies on the second floor, the two accidentally stumbled upon Ma Su and her boyfriend, clearly startled. They followed the group downstairs to join the other survivors, and Liu Chao told the girls to change clothes so they could move more easily. When Zhao Ji contacted the rescue team, he learned that the police would need 5 hours to arrive. Fear spread instantly, but Zhao Ji offered his car as a chance to escape. The students rushed outside despite Liu Chao's warnings, only for the monster to ambush them and swallow one of them immediately. Liu Chao shouted for everyone to retreat. As they rushed back, Mengna saw a girl seized by the giant serpent. She begged to be saved, but Liu Chao knew it was already too late, forcing them to run toward another route. The group finally caught up with the other survivors, but the hiss behind them made it clear the giant serpent was still on their trail. They sprinted through a corridor, crawling with smaller snakes before slipping into a room and bracing the door. The girls quickly tied sheets together to form an improvised rope, opening a way out through the window. One by one, everyone climbed down the side of the building as the huge creature slammed against the door. All made it down except Liu Chao. When the door burst open and the monster lunged, he had no choice but to jump. He crashed toward the ground, but the survivors managed to catch him before he hit the concrete. There was no time to breathe. The serpent reappeared, forcing them to run again. They reached the cafeteria, safe for the moment. There, Liu Chao confronted Zhao Ji, furious that his decisions had put everyone at risk. Zhao Ji snapped back, accusing Mengna of abandoning her friend earlier. Mengna responded with a slap, warning him not to make things worse. The argument ended abruptly when the monster smashed through the windows, sending everyone fleeing once more. The group rushed into a cold storage room and hid within the icy fog. The giant serpent slithered in, searching, while everyone held their breath to avoid being detected. After a tense moment, it moved on, unable to sense their body heat. Seeing an opening, Liu Chao led them toward the exit, but a wave of smaller snakes blocked their path. He quickly lowered the temperature even further, making the girls shiver in their thin clothes, but freezing the reptiles enough to slow them. Carefully, they stepped through the numb, motionless creatures. Just before they all got out, Mengna slipped and was swarmed by venomous snakes. Liu Chao rushed to help, pushing the serpents aside, but one managed to bite him. The group carried him to the emergency room, laid him on a bed, and tried to stabilize him. As his condition worsened, Mengna had no choice but to draw the venom out herself, causing Liu Chao to lose consciousness. The survivors waited nervously until Liu Chao finally opened his eyes, while the giant serpent continued prowling outside, following the lingering scent of humans. Thanks to Mengna's aura, the poison in his body faded faster than anyone expected. But the brief calm shattered when Zhang reminded them that 5 hours had already passed. The rescue team should have arrived by now. Zhao Ji tried contacting the authorities, only to hear terrible news. Their arrival had been delayed until the next day. Panic broke out again, but Liu Chao insisted they couldn't wait any longer. Their only chance was to head to the parking area and use the car Zhao Ji claimed he owned. As everyone prepared their gear, a girl noticed Zhao Ji hiding a syringe in his pocket and grew suspicious. She dragged him into another room and revealed the truth. The car had only 2 seats. She even offered a shameful deal just to secure one of the remaining spots. Zhao Ji nearly gave in, but snapped back to reality when he realized Ma Su, his girlfriend, was outside and had heard everything. Ma Su approached with burning anger in her eyes, forcing Zhao Ji to flee before she exploded. But things became far worse when Mei Su saw the giant serpent closing in on the building. In panic, she shoved the girl out the window, using her as bait so she could escape. The serpent returned, forcing Ma Su to sprint down the hallway while the creature chased her from behind. She eventually reached the rest of the group, but unknowingly brought the threat directly to them. Everyone immediately scattered as the monster lunged forward. They rushed downstairs and burst out of the building, chased by the thunderous crashes behind them. The group managed to reach a patrol car, and a child fired a flare at the serpent, giving Zhang just enough time to start the engine. They jumped inside and sped away as fast as possible. But the escape didn't last long. After reaching the parking area, the car suddenly ran out of fuel, forcing them to climb out and run again while the giant serpent devoured anyone who fell behind. They finally reached the vehicle Zhao Ji had mentioned, only to discover it was just a two-seat convertible. Feeling deceived, Liu Chao tried to stop him, but Zhao Ji injected him with a tranquilizer instead. Shou Ji attempted to escape to the car, but it was already too late. The giant serpent rose directly in front of him, blocking every possible exit. Unexpectedly, the man shoved Ma Su straight toward the giant serpent, and she was instantly killed in a single bite. Horrified, the survivors bolted in the opposite direction, but the creature quickly caught the man as well and devoured him in one swift strike. Meanwhile, the group kept running, but Liu Chao began to stumble as the tranquilizer continued to numb his leg. The serpent was seconds away from reaching them when bursts of fireworks suddenly exploded from afar. Zhang, using a drone, diverted the monster's attention and gave the others a chance to escape into a storage building. Inside, Liu Chao was overwhelmed with guilt for failing to save those who had died. Meng Na reminded him that grieving wouldn't help now. They needed to focus on surviving. Her words snapped him back to clarity. To him, escaping wasn't enough anymore. The only real chance was to kill the creature. The group quickly gathered anything that could serve as a weapon. Liu Chao then devised a plan to use fireworks as their main tool of attack. They stepped out of the warehouse together, and Chao moved ahead as bait, firing a flare to draw the serpent near. The monster lunged toward him instantly. When the giant creature arrived, their trap sprung into action. The survivors attacked from all sides, launching fireworks that scorched the serpent and sent it into a rage. It retaliated by sweeping the girls off their feet with a violent lash of its tail. Chao rushed to Meng Na's aid, shooting fiercely at the beast from behind while dodging its massive strikes. The serpent managed to recover, but Chao grabbed a box of fireworks and charged straight at it. He hurled the explosives into its open jaws, sending the creature thrashing in agony. The others unleashed a barrage of firepower, forcing the serpent to crash heavily to the ground. But the victory was only momentary. The monster rose again and flung the survivors aside like ragdolls. Refusing to give up, Chao seized the remaining fireworks and blasted the monster with everything they had, only to provoke it further, driving the enraged serpent to strike back with even greater force. The giant serpent lunged toward Meng Na, but Liu Chao intercepted it, driving his weapon into the creature's head with his remaining strength. The monster shrieked and thrashed until Liu Chao was thrown aside. Seeing that they couldn't win by force, Liu Chao made a reckless decision. He drenched the serpent in gasoline while standing close enough to trap himself. He shouted for Meng Na to ignite it, but she froze, unable to doom him, giving the creature the chance to swallow him whole. Meng Na's scream echoed through the room. Fueled by fear and desperation, she triggered the fireworks system. Flames detonated across the serpent's body, burning it from within until it collapsed and died. The survivors watched in shock, unable to celebrate. Then the serpent's corpse shifted. Liu Chao crawled out, battered but alive. Meng Na rushed to him and held him tightly. Liu Chao also spotted Zhang, somehow still alive. Soon after, rescue sirens neared. The team arrived and began evacuating the survivors. Meng Na bandaged Liu Chao's wounds and kissed him softly, relieved he survived. They embraced as the sun rose over the ruined campus, closing their harrowing fight. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the next epic story. See you in the next video.